Hey everybody. Today we're going to be talking about open presence and moving into the things that seem most tight or constrained or limited with curiosity rather than with this I know mind that is constantly seeking evidence of what it believes. And we've talked quite a lot over this course of how change comes from that open presence going right into the thing. And there might be the question, what actually is that? What's actually happening there? What's going on? Well, it's cool to see how this conversation can lead to bypass, can't it? We've talked about that already, of how nothing's real, there are no people, and yet nothing's changed. The relationship is still not great, and there's still not enough money to pay for the rent, and we still feel stuck and limited maybe in our career or in our general lives. And that's, in a way, that's awesome for this idea of self, which is all about separating itself out from everything else, saying, they're doing really well, I'm not, they can do that, I can't, I need this to be okay, I need that to be gone to be okay. So it's constantly about pushing away everything to leave this idea and identity intact. It has to do that because anything that's allowed in will pull open the identity, and it'll be seen, there won't be anything there. So to keep itself intact, it has to really protect itself. And this course about change, called Home, is all about seeing that change happens from home, from who we really are, from that space of total openness, learning, curiosity, love, because automatically change has happened there. Nothing else is necessary, and that's not even necessary, but nothing else. There's just there's no, that's change already. The moment there's that dropping of the position, then change has already happened. So what does that look like in practice? So if we took a relationship, and I'm thinking of someone that I have a tricky relationship with, say, so it's just very real for me, real, very real, but well, seems very real, and I can think about approaching that person, and I know now that I would be approaching that person to receive what I'm needing, what I feel I need from that person in order for the relationship to be okay, which is, if I'm totally honest, it sounds like such a stupid cow, but what I'm needing from that person is acknowledgement of me, and acknowledgement that they were wrong, and if I'm honest, acknowledgement that I know better, that I'm somehow superior to them. God. But that's what looks like to be needed right now from that person. And so approaches from that space, from that identity, looking out for approval and affirmation and you are right, looking out from that space, there's there will never be enough. There will never ever be that other person could be saying that over and over again, but the identity can't be satisfied. It's an ego. It's bottomless. It's like insatiable monster that just wants it all, and it will never be enough. So from that space, all that's going to come back is evidence of why that person isn't right for me, you know, why I have to distance myself from that person. They can't see, they don't see what I'm seeing, they're not as great as I am. That's all that's going to come back from that space. So that's cool to see. I mean, already that's cool to see that that's making transparent what previously was hidden. And so, brilliant. That's enough for now. That's enough for now. And there will be, so already in a way, the change has happened to such an extent that the approach from that space isn't taking place, and there's less rumination of they're so wrong, I'm so right all the time. And then we're just watching. We're just watching what happens, because there will be a time, because the way this conversation is going, everything is falling away for all of us. There will be a time when an approach is made with nothing on that approach, no agenda, no need to reinforce my position. There'll be a moment of total unconditional love for that person. An approach can be made from that space, and it won't matter then. It won't matter if what comes back is, you're so rubbish, you did this and you did that, and I know better than you, and blah blah, because there's been no traction to defend against it. There won't be anything to defend against it. And in fact, from that space of unconditional love, this entity here would be actually able to listen and to hear what that person is saying, and to see whether in fact what they're saying is right about the behavior that came from this entity. So it's interesting, isn't it? In that moment of unconditional love, there is no personal, and yet there can be total accountability for the behaviors of the entity, total openness to see where offense could have been given, is that right? Where things could have been said that hurt someone, and that's healing. That's the healing. That's the transformation. Because in that moment of unconditional love, there is no other really, and there is no person here. There's only listening. There's only openness. So through this conversation, the halfway house, I would say, is that there's an awareness, there's that jarring feeling, there's I'm needing something here, I'm wanting something to affirm this identity, I'm wanting reinforcement of these beliefs, and it's not going to come, and that need is just going to make it all worse. And so there's a holding back, I would say, from behavior in that space until there's that space of unconditional love, and the reaching out is automatic. either mentally, either in thought, in feeling, or in actuality. So that's really cool. That's really cool to see. And then I guess the question might come, how how do we get to that space of unconditional love? How do we get to that space of absence of personal total freedom? And the answer, annoying answer, but it's the same one all the time, is we can't. We, as this identity here, cannot do that, because it's the identity, the belief in something that has to be protected and defined and reinforced, that is momentarily hiding the unconditional love that is there all the time, and which the identity is looking for. Of course it is. In that relationship, I'm looking for unconditional love. It's disguised as need, but it's just a search that's gone off into imagination instead of uncovering actual reality. So we can't do it. The identity can't do it. Can't do anything ever. And we just hang out and we see what we see, and we notice that tightness, that need, that hole or that void that has to be filled with whatever it is that we feel will do the job of finally stopping the feelings. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Good. All right, everyone. Thank you. See you soon. Love you. Bye.